Hey guys, I hope you guys are all having an amazing day today. Today we are going to be building a portable air horn which has a train horn, a miniature air compressor, and then I just went and picked up a 20 volt lithium ion drill from Harbor Freight. Pretty much if you're buying anything cheaper than this, it's not going to have enough power to actually turn over the air compressor. Crappy thing is we're pretty much destroying a perfectly working drill. Cool thing is that we're going to end up with a portable train horn, so stay tuned and learn how to build this project. Okay, so we got our battery on our charger, so we'll get that charged up. But first thing we got to do is we need to go ahead and take apart this power drill. Okay, so now that we have this drill apart, what we're going to need to do is go ahead and desolder the DC motor off of here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to solder some wires up to that to be able to run to our compressor that's going to pretty much go ahead and stick here in the front of the power drill itself. So let's wait for the iron to heat up and we'll get going. Okay, so the solder iron is heated up, so let's go ahead and desolder this motor. Now the air horn itself, the compressor, came with this kit, and this kit involves actually using a relay. It's designed to really be connected to lower voltage toggle switches, but it's really designed to be connected to a relay and all this other fun stuff. We don't have the space to do that, nor do we really need that in this use case. So what we're actually going to go ahead and do is we're actually going to cut the terminals that would normally be going to the motor, so our positive and our ground. We're going to cut these off, we're going to strip it, solder it onto these connectors, and then wire that into the back of the compressor. And what we're doing is we're just simply tinning these two wires. So we go ahead and solder it back onto those contacts. We'll be able to easily just tap our iron to it, heat it up, and it'll make a solid and good connection. Okay, so now that we have that soldered up, let's go ahead and connect our positive wire to our air compressor. And this is marked by the positive that's in the back of the air compressor itself. Let's also connect our negative. Then grab our battery off the charger just temporarily. We want to make sure that this actually works the way we need it to. As you can see, this thing's got quite a bit of torque, but it does in fact work the way we need it to. So let's go ahead and continue the build. So we're going to go ahead and trim this interior plastic out so that we can actually fit everything that we need to inside the power drill. Let's see now what this is going to look like when we actually do mount this inside of the unit. What we'll do is we'll do just a quick little test closing. Okay, so yeah, we're going to have to do a lot of trimming to actually get this to close up properly. So let's go ahead and let's disconnect our air compressor and let's get going on that. Okay, so now we have kind of both sides of our drill kind of cleaned out from anything that can impact this. Let's go ahead and just do like a quick little test fit. And without fully closing it, we can already tell that we are in a much better position now. And so now what we need to work on is actually securing the air compressor itself to the chassis so that it doesn't spin in its spot. But other than that, we are actually really good to go from this outside perspective. Okay, so in terms of securing this, there's really not that many options available to me. I am going to probably fill this cavity with a little bit of hot glue. I'm going back to my standard hot glue. But one of the things I want to do is I want to make sure that the air hose is pointing towards the top, because when we mount this to the back of the unit, we want that air hose, make it as short as possible, less things in the way. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to probably drill a hole in the top, 2 on the top and 2 in the bottom. We're going to run a zip tie through, and then we're going to go ahead and fill that cavity with hot glue to pretty much hold this compressor in place from the torque that it creates. Okay, so we got our air compressor installed, we got our air hose up towards the top. I'm going to go ahead and put a little diffuser back on this little power LED, which is quite nice, so we have a little light whenever we turn this on. Normally it's used to help find your screw when you're using it as an actual screwdriver, but since that is no longer the primary use case for this anymore, we can at least go ahead and still keep it as a feature. You never know when you might want to light on this for sure. With that, we can go ahead and we can put the opposite side of our enclosure on now. And then after we get everything screwed together, we're going to go ahead and put some hot glue or something in here to just kind of help hold it in place. The zip ties are really going to hold it, but that will just kind of give us a little bit of extra security holding that, because there's a lot of torque from that air compressor. Okay, so now that we have our air compressor mounted to the front, we've got our air hose kind of going to the top, we can go ahead and we can look at mounting our actual horn to the assembly. The nice thing about putting the the horn on top of the drill just like this is that we have a short, small distance that we can cut the air hose down to, and that you won't even notice it hanging down, and it'll look more like it's supposed to be there and not just, an air horn like it is right now. So let's go ahead and work on that. everybody. So with that, we've got our air hose connected to the top of the air compressor. Everything's put back together. We've got this bolted down. Unfortunately, the one bolt, even though the one was held in a lot by friction, the other one started spinning. So that's about as tight as that one's going to get, but I mean, this thing's not going anywhere. We've got our air hose connected, and we are ready to test this. Unfortunately, can't test this out at my house, but we'll see where we test this out next.